Welcome back to my channel, friends. So happy to have you here today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna, and today we are going to be talking all about self-care as homemakers. Okay, before I start, I know you're all going to ask about the amazing new bedding, which I'm so excited to share with you guys and tell you all about. It is probably going to be in next week's episode, okay? So just be sure you tune into that because it is the best thing I have ever gotten myself, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys, okay? So stay tuned for that. But today, we are going to be talking all about self-care as a stay-at-home mom, as a homeschooling mom, as a mother in general. Like, everyone needs to hear this. So it's not just for like stay-at-home moms, homeschool moms. It really can be for any mom. But today we are going to look at it more with a biblical lens on, okay? We are going to see what the Bible has to say about self-care and talk about ways that you can better take care of yourself as a stay-at-home mom. Because I asked back on Instagram a few months ago, what are some things that you want me to talk about? And that was such a big one that a lot of women really struggle with, is knowing how to better take care of themselves. And it's a really hard topic because on the one hand, you really want to take care of yourself, but you also know that God calls us as Christians to deny ourselves. So it's kind of this balancing act, right? I think there's been so many negative connotations linked to self-care. So much worldly advice has surrounded it that it's really kind of gotten a bad rap in the Christian community. But I really believe that self-care is biblical if it's done with the right heart posture. So the world is going to come at us saying, you need more me time, you need more manicures, you need more fancy Starbucks coffees, you need more girls trips, you need another gym membership, all of these things, which there's nothing wrong with. All of those things can be really good things if done with the right heart posture. But then there's the other side of it where you have people going to the complete opposite extreme, and they're just so afraid of being selfish that they won't do anything for themselves, and they completely put themselves on the back burner and totally neglect themselves, and they just end up being completely worn out emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and that is not good either. So where can we find a healthy balance in that? So first, I feel like we need to look at self-care more as like rest than self-care, because you're not going to find self-care in the Bible, but you are going to find a lot of references to rest and taking care of ourselves. So like in Matthew 11:28, you're going to find that God created us to rest. You're also going to find in scripture that God rested. He rested after he made the world, right? You're also going to see that Jesus went away and rested. You're also going to see that in the Old Testament, rest was actually turned into a law. On the Sabbath, that's when people would rest, and it was actually a law that God wanted you to abide by. So you see all through the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, that rest really is important to the Lord. And it's really been something that he's been showing me a lot lately, and I'm going to hopefully talk about how he's kind of transformed our family through our Sabbath worship and really resting on the Sabbath. I'll probably do a whole video on that eventually. I do have a magazine article that I wrote about that coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. I'll come on here and announce it probably when it's live. Just really something the Lord has been dealing with me, like really probably the last year and a half, is the subject of rest. Because I can be a little bit of a workaholic and that is sometimes a really good thing and also sometimes a really bad thing. But God created us to rest, and rest is so important. It's also an act of worship to him, and it is something that we all should be doing weekly, monthly, daily. So a person who chooses to rest is someone who's walking in obedience to the Lord, and we all want to make sure that we are in obedience with the Lord. So definitely get that in your head. Rest is a good thing. Rest is good, it's needed, and it's something that I'm going to do. We should also think about stewarding our body well, because there's lots of scriptures in the Bible that talk about stewarding your body well. Ephesians 5:29 is one. Another one is Mark 12:30 through 31. That's the love your neighbor as yourself one, which doesn't actually talk about your physical body. But I wanted to mention it because it says love your neighbors as yourself. So whatever you do to show love to other people, cleaning up after them, feeding them, all of those things, you should be doing for yourself too, okay? And you should be loving yourself well. That means fueling your body with the right nutrition, going on walks, exercising, drinking your water, doing all the things that you can to really steward your body well. Because Jesus really wants you to love yourself and value yourself, because he values you so much and he wants you to value you. So we were designed to need rest, to need food, to need exercise in order to function, in order to thrive. Those are really, really important things that God designed us to need. And I know you hear it all the time. You can't pour into someone else's cup if your cup is empty. And y'all, it really is very true. So it is so important that every day we are filling our cup emotionally, spiritually, physically, in order to be able to love others and serve others well. And this is not coming from a place of selfishness. That's what we have to be careful of. It's coming from a place of love. I love God. I obey God. Therefore, I take care of myself, okay? So what are some practical ways that we can do this? What are some practical ways that we can better take care of ourselves? I'm gonna give you just a few ways you can take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, okay? The first one is get enough sleep. This one is huge, especially for moms, okay? Because we're not really good at this, most of us. And it's very important. It's important for your body to function. It's important for you to mentally, spiritually, all the things. Rest is a big, big deal, okay? And you need to make sure you're getting enough of it. So if this means that you watch less screens at night, maybe you turn the TV off earlier, you get in the bed at a decent hour, then do that. If this means you need to sleep train your child and get them out of your room, which I'm a big proponent of, then maybe you need to do that. Books I recommend are Moms on Call and Baby Wise. Those are two great books that will help you get your child sleeping through the night so that mama can sleep through the night. Very, very important. All my kids were sleeping through the night by 4 months old, except for my firstborn, because I didn't know what I was doing with him. But it transformed our life. When we learned the secret of sleep training, our lives were transformed. And I can do a whole video just on that because it's the best thing ever. I'm also a huge proponent of getting your kids out of your bedroom. I know that's not a popular belief with a lot of moms, but it's important. It's majorly important for your marriage, if nothing else, but also for your sleep. It's real hard to sleep when a child keeps punching you in the middle of the night. So get your kids out of your bedroom if you need to. If that is whatever is affecting your sleep, whatever is causing you to not get enough sleep, needs to change, needs to leave, whatever. You need to figure out how you can get enough rest every night. You need to be getting at least 8 hours. I thrive on like 9 to 10 hours. So everybody may be a little bit different with that, but you just kind of got to try and figure that out for yourself. The next thing is eat well. This is so hard, guys. I know, for me too, okay? But it's so important. Every meal, you're getting a protein, a fat, and a fiber at every meal. So important. That will give you a balanced meal. It'll make you feel full. It'll keep things moving in your body the way they need to keep moving, and it'll make you feel really good. So at least 3 meals. If you can squeeze in 2 snacks in between those that also contain protein, fat, and fiber, you're doing even better, because honestly, the more you eat of healthy foods, the better you feel. And usually the more weight you can lose too. But it has to be good, healthy foods, not the junk food. And junk food is just gonna make you feel worse. It's gonna make you feel tired. It's gonna make you feel like hungover and just blah. So it's so important. Even though those convenient foods are so much easier and convenient, they're gonna make you feel like total crap. So make sure that you're fueling your body with healthy foods, because that's going to make you feel so much better. And that food really affects you emotionally and physically. So that's a very, very important one. Also, be sure you're drinking your water, okay? You should be drinking half of your body weight in water every single day. And that is going to help you feel so much better as well, and just help with all kinds of different things in your body. Move your body every day. This can be as simple as walking up and down your driveway, but just do something where you're moving your body every single day, whether that's going to the gym or doing a quick little at-home workout like I do, or a lot of times I will go for a walk with my kids. Just do something. Move your body in some way, shape, or form every single day, and it will help you so much. And that's one of the big ways that you can help your future self too, because if you're keeping your body really strong and healthy healthy now, you're going to be able to pick up your grandkids and run around with your grandkids and do all of that you're going to want to do one day. So your older self is going to thank you for that. It's also really important to get alone time every day, especially those of us who are a little bit more introverted. I find this is a really big one for me. I really feel so refreshed if I can get a minute like to myself. And this may just be coming in here on my bed and folding laundry and like watching a YouTube video for like 20 minutes. Or it may be at night after dinner, coming in my bathroom and getting a little bath for like 30 minutes just by myself. Just something small like that every single day to just kind of help you recharge your batteries a little bit and get that alone time really helps me mentally. Get your doctor checkups. I'm talking to myself on this one. I have not done very good with that, but do it. Go ahead and make the appointment right now because that is very important and also something your future self is going to thank you for. Be sure that you're getting your yearly checkups. And number 7, which is a big one that I think people often forget, is spend time with other believers. Fellowship with other people. It's so important. It's talked about in the Bible. It is so important for a Christian to be fellowshipping with other Christians. So call that mom up for a play date. Plan a little mom event at your church. Go on a play date with another mom. Y'all bring your kids, go to the park, have a picnic. Just text a friend and say, hey, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Just little things like that that help you connect to other people, especially when you're a mom who stays home all the time and can get in that little bubble of like, let's do homeschool, let's stay home. It can be really good mentally to have that break where you get to spend time with other people and fellowship with another believer, and it just lifts your spirits and just helps you so much. Okay, so those are some practical ways that you can start. You don't have to do them all. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start with like 1 or 2. Just start by drinking your water and going on a walk every day and maybe texting your friend once a day, okay? Do little things like that and then maybe inch up to all of the things that I mentioned on the list. The last thing I wanted to talk about is to just be very cautious about self-care because it can easily lead into becoming an idol, just like a lot of things in our life, right? It's one of those things you just have to keep a check on because really quickly it can start becoming an escape. Whatever you're doing for self-care can kind of become that escape. And so when you feel like you're starting to run to it instead of to God, your caution light needs to go up and you need to think, oh wait, I need to check myself here. Also, when self-care starts becoming self-medicating, then you also have a problem. Because now you're looking to that self-care, whether it be working out or going shopping, you're using that to fill your cup instead of going to the Lord for Him to fill your cup. And that's a problem too. And then you have to be really careful because self-care can quickly turn into an addiction. So if you find yourself needing more and more and more and more and more, then there's also a problem there. Okay, so just a few little things to kind of keep yourself in check with that because it can slowly lead into an area that you don't want it to. So I just wanted to encourage you with that, give you some advice on that because I have been there. I have definitely had self-care things become an idol in my life, and that will become a stronghold in your life, and that is not what God wants for you. So we do have to be really careful with that because Jesus should be our ultimate self-care, right? But don't forget that taking care of yourself is an act of worship unto the Lord, and it's an act of obedience to the Lord, and that is such a beautiful thing. What an awesome God that He allows us to take care of ourselves as an act of worship to Him. That's just a beautiful thing and something that really is so simple. We just have to make the time to do it, okay? So I hope this video was so encouraging to you. I enjoyed filming it for you. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you can. That helps me so much. It's a free way that you can support my channel. And I've got another exciting video coming next week. I'm hoping to show you guys my evening routine and kind of what I do to prepare for the next day. So look for that to come out next week. I'll also be talking about this bedding in that video. And so I can't wait to see you guys back here next time. Bye guys.